Are you heard about that?
Black Israelites?
You said what, brother?
No, Black Israelites.
No, we're not black Israelites.
Christians, what y'all?
No, we the Israelites. You said what, brother? Well, hey, brother. If you don't repent, you're going to be destroyed, brother. All that tough guy, and they ain't going to save you, brother. All right, what?
Hey,
Josh. Brother, yeah.
Get up on
Come to the front. Come to the front. Hey, what's going on, brother? Give me the book of Matthew 10 verse 28. You're not gonna do nothing, brother. Right?
Hell no.
Give me the book of Matthew 10 verse 28. Everybody stay in order. Right? They come to the front. Right? Give me the book of Matthew 10 verse 28.
Like y'all
It's the book of Matthew.
No.
Fuck what these niggas talking about. Hey, believe in Jesus. Vote for Donald Trump.
Mike, the whole
Man, the stomach hurting, right? The line for everybody running different directions, right? It's just that funny, right? And we good, man. Destruction and famine, we're gonna laugh, you know?
Neither shalt thou be afraid.
Excuse me. What's your nationality? What's your race? White. So is white people dress like this?
I dress how I dress.
Where you learn that from?
That's how I dress.
So where you learn that from?
I ain't learning from nobody.
You don't learn from nobody.
Shit, my daddy.
If you could choose one nation of people, who would you rather be?
I'd rather be me.
And you don't like us, brother.
Right.
We the chosen people on the earth.
Right.
Like, we got the salt, brother.
Right.
Talking about, I ain't get it from nobody.
They lost it.
Right? Stop lying. Right? Talking about, I ain't get it from nobody.
After more than a decade of research, a white man from Des Moines found out his great-grandfather was black and actually competed in the Olympic Games in Paris.
Everybody knew it, they just didn't talk about it.
It started when Matthew Lundeen was just a kid, cleaning out his great-grandmother's house when she died in 1997. Inside, he found his great-grandfather's accomplishments in the early 1900s, Charles Brookins Jr.
His Olympic jersey, I think I saw, and just there was a room in the basement full of trophies.
Back then, Brookins was praised for his undeniable talent in sports, breaking records in Oskaloosa High School. But track and field was his true calling. He was also a member of the Olympic team at the 1924 Paris Games. This is him finishing second in Paris. Lundeen says he was later disqualified.
And his family's name was the letter B, which I figured out. At first I thought it was a mistake, but I figured out it meant black. So I checked the other censuses that I could find them recorded in, and it either had a B next to their names.
You found out more about your great-great-grandfather.
At the end of the article, there was just a short paragraph that said that he was born a slave before the war, learned how to read and educated himself after the war, and then he was planning on heading back south at some point to serve his people.
The amount of DNA that you have from sub-Saharan Africa is roughly equivalent to a fourth or fifth great-grandparent of full black African ancestry. So, maybe one of the biggest surprises of the series is that Clint Black is a little black. It's a little, you don't wear that black hat for nothing. What's it like to know that?
That's exciting. Yeah. You know, I like having that connection. I don't mind being melted.
And I'm here to welcome you on behalf of the race into the fold.
It might come as a shock, but the man behind the mesmerizing blue eyes is not entirely what you thought he was. Wentworth Miller, the incredibly talented actor who captured our hearts in the hit TV series Prison Break, is actually black. Yep, you read that right. But don't worry if you had no idea about his heritage, because you're not alone. Wentworth's multi-ethnic background is something that often flies under the radar. Born in England to an African-American father and a white British mother, Wentworth Miller's heritage is as diverse as the characters he portrays on screen. Chris Humphries might be best remembered as the former significant other of billionaire Kim Kardashian rather than a sports personality. The TV star has been known for her attraction to black men, including the likes of Kanye West, Nick Cannon, Reggie Bush, and Miles Austin. Unlike the others, Chris Humphries has pale skin and light-colored eyes, which makes it hard to believe he is African American. Chris's black roots would come from his father, William Humphries, who is an African American college football star. William married a white woman named Deborah, and the couple gave birth to Chris in 1985. Kim Kardashian, he also known for playing for several big-name clubs in the NBA, including the Utah Jazz, Toronto Raptors, Dallas Mavericks, New Jersey Brooklyn Nets, Boston Celtics, Washington Wizards, Phoenix Suns, and the Atlanta Hawks.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Recha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, you fellow believers of this truth, and shalom to the elect. Anyway, I'm going to go through this video and, just go through it. I put the intro in the vid, and I said I was going to touch on a couple things with this skin color thing. It seems to be a stumbling block to a lot of Israelites. I know that was old One West, and now we've graduated, more so to teach. And our main goal at Great Millstone is to reach the elect. Now, other Israelites feel that we're waking up white people, right? And we're trying to bring them into the kingdom, right? And no way are we trying to do that, because you can't. We're not trying to wake up white people. We're trying to wake up Israelites. This is the reason why we don't call ourselves black Hebrew Israelites, right? So it's a difference on what we do and what other Israelite groups do. I think they do it for the show. It seems like all of Wi-Fi brothers, they all sound like Brother Naquan. That's just my opinion. I think when you look up to the leaders, that's what happens. You start to try to sound like them and look like them and give me the book of this and the book of that. And they'll hate us for this. They'll dislike us for it. And I'm not saying there's something totally wrong with that. You look up to your leader, but there's the thing is, you got to study to shew thyself approved. Does this make any sense? That every white person you come up and you ask him, is he white? Of course he's going to say he's white. That's what he's been taught. Didn't the scripture says, Hosea 4:6, that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge? Right? Doesn't it say in Jeremiah 17:4 that we should discontinue from our heritage? Our own people don't know who they are. If we ask a so-called black man, what's your nationality? They'll say black. So you ask somebody white, they'll say white. Now, to go further in the video, before I get started, I am not at all excluding Esau, right? Judgment has got to come to him. Thus saith the Lord, according to the book of Obadiah, and through the Bible, right? Double unto her, Revelation 18. We're not saying that. What I'm saying is, you got some people who may have skin complexion and still Edomites. The vast range of things go deep. There's different dynamics. This guy came up and said he was a white person. He don't know. He could be. We don't know. You got to go through the spirit on this. These guys are just pointing things out, and they're just rolling with it. It just seems like pure entertainment to me, right? Let's go to John 16:13, and I'm going to read it in the Aramaic Bible. It says, but whenever the Spirit of truth comes, he will lead you into the whole truth. What is it saying if he's going to lead you into the whole truth? This is part of the 100% truth. That's why we say that. Because he will lead you into the whole truth. Some of us just have part of the truth. But now it's to the point you should be guided into the whole truth. Come on, man. You still can't be stuck in old One West. This is still old One West doctrine. Right? For he will not speak of his own will, but he shall speak whatever he shall hear and shall reveal the future to you. I mean, you got these groups who have a problem with Apostle Paul. I just did a video on. I may do another video on that, but they said it wasn't inspired by the Most High. It was his own words. But when you read 1 Corinthians 7:40, he said, I would think that I was moved by the Holy Spirit. Remember, the Most High didn't need us to do no sacrifices. So you had a lot of Israelites who was mad at Yahushua, and when he was sacrificed, they had an issue with claiming he was the sacrificial lamb. He didn't add it to the scriptures. That's what they were saying. And he's no Messiah. And you got Old Testament Israelites here doing the same thing. You even got black Israelites who's saying that all Israelites must look black. But then you got heathens that look black. You see what I'm saying? See, I understand that Jake is pissed off at Esau. So what he wants to do is just target Esau. What we're trying to do is, yes, we condemn them and we tell them they're going off. But first we have to call to our power and reach the elect and cast off that carnal nature. That's what has to happen first. And then they go on to say, he's trying to be like black people. Well, black people don't even tries to be like other people, right? The trends that so-called black people got come from left-hand energy. Tight pants hanging down, Jordans on their feet, women with weaves, right? Spandies on, everything showing. Men wearing all kinds of stuff and effeminate shoes, big slippers and flip-flops and all that stuff. You know, when Lil Wayne and and all those young guys made them videos that we set the trends, where do you think it came from? There's this group called Drew Hill in Baltimore, right? They did a interview on that, and they were saying, how did they get their name? They said they wanted to be called For the People's Love or something like that. And Esau zoomed in, and I'm not doubting that some of those people, those producers, Jake too, moved on a left-hand energy. But then they said, well, why not be Druid Hill? Because that's the name of a park where they do ceremonies at. It's actually by the Druids. One of the younger brothers went into that. And they would have all kind of festivals like they did in Greece, Rome. Right? The Saturnalia festivals and stuff like that. That's still going to this day. So they was like, nah, man, that's witchcraft. We don't want to be Druid Hill. So then they changed it to Drew Hill, D-R-U. And there's many other instances like that. Right? John 7:24. It says here, do not judge according to the outward appearances, rather according to the righteous judgment. Now we understand what that means as well, but you can use that in this case because not all Israelites are going to look so-called black. This guy, Andre Ward, it's really tricky because just because your great-grandfather was black, he could have had a white father. And then you would trace it and say, hey, my lineage is black, and that's not the case because you see somebody black. But this guy here that we seen that was an Olympic, his great-grandfather was in the Olympics, or grandfather, right? He had a lot of talent. But you know what they did? They would perm their hair like Tom Jones to try to look white. Vin Diesel did the same thing. You know? So he asked this man, what color are you? And he says white. Well, don't you think if we was raised, if I was in white skin and somebody told me I was white and I was great, that I would also think that I was white and great? And you got to remember that some of those, let's say this guy dressed like that and came against them according to the Bible, they would still say he was an Edomite because he came against the Bible. But the black Jake that came up and just snatched the mic out of their hand, they won't say he a heathen, right? We know he's a heathen by not non-believer, but they won't say he's another nation, right? They won't say that. No, they won't, right? So let's go to Isaiah 11. Let me go here. Isaiah 11. I'll try to make this quick. 11:3, I think. Let me go to 2. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, right? It's talking about Jesse, and the branch shall grow out of the roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, and the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. Okay, let's go on. It says, and shall make him a quick understanding to have fear of the Lord, and shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. Right? Remember, the Lord is about the Spirit. St. John 6:63 is the Spirit that quickeneth. Right? This is 1 Samuel 16. If you read this story, I'm just going to read to the point. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on the countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not a man as a man seeth. For a man looketh on the outward appearances, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Right? Now, the Lord did make a division, a separation, and he, through the nations, you can tell there's a separation in the nations. You can tell by the Moabites, the Ammonites, Moabites, the Ishmaelites, the Elamites, they all have a different characteristics. The Hamites, right? The Egyptians, Mizraim, and the Japhites, we're all different nations, but now we see that the seed of Israel has been scattered, Deuteronomy 28:64, and it's been scattered. So we was always in the other nations, and nations have conquered us. So not everybody will claim they're Israelite. Well, if you believe, you believe. The scripture says the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. But the ones you claim that's walking up and down the street you think might be an Israelite may not be an Israelite. And if some you think you may be an Israelite, some may be Israelites. But you would think you would have to roll on a spirit. But these guys don't do that, right? And I believe, again, it's for the audience. This word appearance in online etymology means appearance to display, right? It says to display, to come to appearance, was evident, to be seen in the public, right? So you're not just looking on somebody for their outward appearance. Like I said, Andre Ward's father, that boxer, that boxer, his father looked white, and everybody say, "Oh, he's a white father, so Andre Ward is a white man," and he loved Jesus. Remember our people. A lot of our people love Jesus, man. Some of them Bible Belt Christians, some of them are Israelites too. Some of them people that you see in the Holy Land that claiming that they're Jewish. Well, guess what? There's a remnant that may be amongst them. And all nations. Remember he said that? Let's get that real quick. And let's see if this is a lie. It says, I will scatter thee. I know it was in Ezekiel. I know it's Deuteronomy 28:64, but I like this other one better, Ezekiel 22:15. It says, where I'm at, Ezekiel 22:15. I'll get another translation then. It says, and I will scatter thee among all nations, and nations mean peoples, right? And disperse you through the countries, and will consume you, the filthiness out of you. So, to the black Hebrew Israelites, the black only Israelites, does this make any sense? That the Lord at all this time, thousands of years, hundreds of years, have scattered our people throughout all the nations. And you mean to tell me, man or woman didn't mess with other nations that were already so-called mess with other people? You tell me. You can clearly see why the Native Americans some of them have that Moabitish look. Some of them could be Moabites or those Mexicans. Some of them could be. But it's the seed of the father. And that guy in this video, he promoted that. He said it was the seed of the father. Anyway, I hope this lesson was edifying. That's all I have on that. Shalom.